tap in. Tap, tap, 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 tap in. Welcome to the TT from the D podcast show. It's Tap In Tuesday, everybody. And I am super excited. I am super excited because I have a panel full of amazing, beautiful, talented women. Tonight's episode, I've been excited about for the last couple of weeks because it's all about scheduling. And so these women are just amazing in so many areas and facets. It's just overwhelming for me to know that I was able to kidnap them for an hour, steal time from them. And they loaned it to me graciously. They're humble queens and they are busy women. You know them if you listen to radio versus if it's your, media radio, online radio. If you see us podcasting, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I'm not going to waste time. I normally have this whole spiel, but I'm super excited. I'm like, what? Beautiful women in the building tonight, and I'm excited for them. So I'm going to introduce them one at a time. And normally I'm going to do something different. And why can't I? Because this is my show. I can do what I want. And so normally I do the whole spiel, but then if I broke down and did their accolades, we'd be on here and then you wouldn't get to see these beautiful women. So I'm going to do something a little different. So I'm going to bring them in one at a time. I'll tell you a little bit about them, just a little bit, and maybe not. But I'm going to show you their pictures. That's for sure. So the first, let me do a couple of shout outs. I wanted to shout out a couple of people that couldn't join us tonight. I wasn't able to get them. The scheduling conflicts and things like that just didn't work out. So I definitely wanted to shout out this queen right here. I'll kill my camera now. This is Randy Rosario. She is amazing. She has really, I felt, put podcasting for women on the map. She's taken it to another level. She's working on her talk show. She's actually on a tour. And I'm not familiar with anybody else who's really been out doing a podcast tour like her. She's an author, she's a mom, she's a wife, a serial entrepreneur. Her and her husband are a power couple in their own right. And so shout out to Randy. She's amazing. She's doing amazing things. Follow her, support her. Her books are amazing. I can't wait to have her come on and talk about her books. This right here is a book. It's like a planner, almost like a goal book, and you can write down your things and your daily journeys, how you're doing, and it's fascinating. And then for all of us that are out there and we are co-parents or we have blended families, she also has an amazing book on how we actually can do it, ladies. We actually can co-parent with blended family in a positive way. It doesn't have to always be what we see in social media because social media don't really care for us. Okay, and then I want to shout out these two queens. Oh, Bricks and Ricks from the Bricks and Ricks show. These two are amazing. I've had the pleasure of having them on my show several times. They always give a dope interview. And they are the only podcasters that are women that are a duo that I am familiar with that really do something a little bit different. And so I wanted them to come on tonight, and they were excited, but again, conflict with the scheduling. But if I can kidnap these queens that I have tonight, another time, I'm bringing us on here because it's all about women empowering women, right? We unify and we connect, and that's what it's about. So I had to get that out the way. It's exciting. Oh, thank you. They spoke that. They said this is going to be an amazing show. I second that. I concur. Thank you for that love. We appreciate that. And so I'm going to introduce my very first guest. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to choose to introduce this first guest. This woman has been a really big supporter of what I do. She's somebody that I think is a connector.
I was talking to someone earlier about doing a podcast show on connectors. There's a lot, and some of these women on my panel tonight really would have to come back. I don't know if StreamYard going to allow me to have 25 people on here, but we gonna try. You know how we gonna try. But this queen I'm talking about, and this is one of my favorite photos of her. This is Rocky Harris, and she's a journalist. She's a writer. She's a storyteller. She's a serial entrepreneur. She is an amazing podcaster. She's a wife. She's a mom. She is just awesome in so many facets. She is one of the biggest people I know that's in this industry that loves to connect people. And she does it without any hidden intentions, right? And so, without any further ado, I'd like to bring to the screen, and I guess I'll bring my little cell phone back up in here too. Y'all gonna be like, you're gonna talk about it tonight? No, I'm not. Okay, without any further ado, I'd like to bring Rocky to the panel. Hey, Queen. Hey, 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 hey. Thank you.
What up, dog? I was on mute.
I know it's cool. It's cool. I'm bringing y'all in one at a time because we got a full house tonight. I'm super
I
excited.
love it.
Thank you. Thank you. So next up, I want to bring this queen to the forefront. I've had the honor of meeting her through a brother from another mother. And when I tell you, you know, sometimes when people walk into a room and you really don't know who they are, what they represent, and they're quiet. And it's just like you listen, you watch, and then she's beautiful. She's a chocolate beautiful sister. And it was just like listening to her, talking with her. And then I realized she was a boss, like a boss in her own right. And I'm like, okay, okay. So we talked and we connected and we've stayed in contact for a while. And Rocky, hey Karen, I love Karen. Ooh, Dr. Reynolds in the building. And so this queen that I'm gonna talk about, bringing to the forefront next, I want to show you her picture because she's beautiful. I think she's just amazing. Her name is Princess. She is beautiful. Yeah, I could go on because there's so much. I have all my notes, right? I got all these sticky notes on the side of my computer, but I was like, nope, we're gonna do something a little bit different tonight. So I'm gonna bring this queen in. Welcome to the show, Princess.
Hi, hello everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Next up, we're going to bring this queen to the forefront. There's two people, two amazing, one podcast, one radio personality slash podcaster that I had the pleasure of actually meeting during Peerless Times. I was a stage manager for Peerless Times, and these women also have the ability to do a lot of different things. When you are wearing different hats in different ways, you see things, right? Now I know what I'm supposed to be seeing, but when God's light shines upon you, you can't hide it, right? You can look, and I'm nosy in the spirit and in the world, and so I'm looking like, okay, there's something else about them. And so as I got to know them a little bit better, then it was, oh wait, hold on. I'm also, I think I have uh, issue where I'll get distracted. So somebody said the way you're introducing each queen individually is incredible, giving each their own shine as you should. Come on now, come on now. Thank you. Thank you. I know that's right. See, somebody love what I'm doing today. Thank you. Thank you. And so this queen, her name actually fits her. And I'll tell you why. She's always trying to bring light, just giving energy when you don't know you need it. So I'll show you her. And her microphone is like golden, right? And it represents who she is. Her name is Sunshine, and she's an amazing podcaster as well. We all have our unique styles and we're all different. And I thank God for that because that's why God designed us the way He has. So without any further ado, I'd like to bring Sunshine to the platform. Welcome, Sunshine.
Hello everyone. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. Next up, we're going to another, as I said, she corrected me and I loved it. She corrected me so humbly because I was like, I had a run for she was on my actual show this morning for the Top of the Morning show. For those of you that know, I have a platform on Spotify and iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. So when I interviewed her, she let me know. She was like, I'm and Princess got me together nicely too when me and her was talking too. I was like, you know what? Humbleness. They could have just like chin checked me in the spirit, like boop boop, but they didn't. They gave me grace. And so the lady I'm talking about, this queen here, and I love this photo of her. I love it. And I was one of the people that was able to help select the best photo that we thought when we were doing our brochure for Peerless Times. And I was all over this. And it was another one, and I think they went with the other one, but I love this one, so I chose this one tonight. So without any further ado, I would like to bring Nikki Jones to the panel.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hey. And last but not least, this queen that I'm getting ready to bring to the panel, I have known her for a few years. Her aunt is a really good friend of mine. Shout out to Crystal P. Amazing. I was a stage manager for Crystal P. And I got to meet this queen, not just because she's her niece, but she was performing in the very first event that I was a stage manager for. And I had never seen a woman play uh, the harp. No, the what's this one?
Violin.
There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Harp. No, that's Miss Portia Lockett, Dr. Portia Lockett. Okay, so this queen right here, you guys, I made sure I could clear this and use this. This is Melody Fresh from 105 Kiss FM. She plays the violin, and she's a serial entrepreneur, just like every queen on this panel. Everybody does some amazing things, but that's one thing that shocked me because I was like, she came out looking all cute, and I'm like, what's she gonna do with the violin? And so it was like, okay, and she played the hell out of that thing. So without any further ado, I would like to bring Melody Fresh to the building. Welcome, Melody.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. Thank you.
Hey.
Before we get started, Queens, I have to say thank you for taking time out of your evenings for this Tap In Tuesday, Women in Podcasting and Radio. It's exciting for me. I'm nervous and I'm the one that's actually doing the interviewing, but it's like to know you have all this power tonight on one platform. It's such an amazing feeling for me because you all are amazing in your own right. And as I had told the people earlier, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I didn't want to just read your bio because I'd be doing the show by myself because y'all have some extensive bios. So I would love for you guys to take a moment to let our viewers across the globe know a little bit about each and every one of you. And so we're just gonna go in Brady Bunch style. And we will start with you, Sunshine. Could you tell the viewers a little bit about who you are and your platform?
I am a wife, of course. I've been doing podcasting for almost 3 years now, and my show is called Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine. It started off during the pandemic. I was doing Facebook interviews with people, and it just took off. The concern for others, connecting with others, getting advice and help. And I know this person, and I didn't know that until we had this conversation. So literally, I don't do interviews. It's all conversations. And so this is what I do every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I am on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and the YouTube channel, which is the name of the show. And I really, really love connecting with people and finding out about a new human being. Because once we actually have a conversation, we find out that we are more alike than we are different.
I touch and agree with you on that. Yeah, I touch and thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Next up, we're gonna go up and down, I think. So we're gonna go to Princess. Princess, could you tell our viewers a little bit about you and your platform?
Okay, so I've been doing radio for 15, going on 16 years now. It started from the Good Times show, which then spiraled into a full-fledged network, which is Hot 93.97 and 93.97 Network. Hot 93.97 is our radio on-air podcast portion, and 93.97 network is more of our TV portion. So we are in the process of developing our own TV network where we will be housing movies, TV shows, other radio personalities as well. My show particularly is the Good Time Show, which airs Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., where we talk about anything under the sun. I'm a mother of three rambunctious boys, a wife, and I have other businesses that I have my hands in, but just on the radio part. We have about four different shows on our network. We have the Ty and Lays. Takes Today, we have We Outside, we have No Hangover. So we just have a slew of different shows. So I'm the program director, owner, radio personality, all of the above in the radio world. I'm not even going to go outside of radio because then we'd be here a whole nother couple of hours.
Yes. That's why I didn't do my introduction for y'all because y'all got some resumes. They'll be like, okay, so that was the hour. I'm like, yeah. So join us next Tap In Tuesday. Thank you, Princess. Thank you. Next up, Nikki Jones. Tell us a little bit about.
Hello, everyone. I am Nikki Jones, and I am the host of Soulful Inspirations. I am on WVTC Detroit, which is an internet radio station. We also have a sister station in Chicago. We are Stellar Award winners for 2022 for Internet Station of the Year, and prayerfully, we will be Stellar Award winners again this year. I have been doing the internet radio show for about 2 years now. And within that radio show, there is a podcast that I also do with three other beautiful women that is called My Sister, Your Sister podcast. And even with the podcast and the radio show, the whole theme is healing, making sure that we inspire people to heal, go on their own healing journey, whether it's through music, which is what we feature, mostly gospel music. We also feature a resident therapist counselor who owns her own business. She's a Black girl just doing it out here on her own practice. And she's a resident that will come in every other week or so and just kind of talk about the mental health perspective, if you will. We feature all types of survivors and people and independent gospel artists, and yours truly is also an independent gospel artist. And so I do have some music out there. It's been a while. It's been a while since I recorded. However, there is some music out there. If you're looking for me, you can find it on YouTube, on iTunes, on everything else under my previous name before I got married, which was Nikki Thomas. So, but other than that, I'm a woman, I'm a wife, I'm a mother to beautiful three boys. Hello. Yes. One from my first marriage and two from my second. So, but you know, and the dog is a boy too. So I'm the only female in this house. Um, so anyway, that is who I am. I love doing what I do. I love inspiring people to heal and to heal through laughter and through music, and that is my mission.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Next up, we have Rocky Harris. Tell the listeners and viewers a little bit about you and your platform.
Okay. Hey, everyone. I'm Rocky. My podcast is Rocky's Reality. I am a multimedia storyteller. So I write, I edit. I've written for several publications, including Rolling Out, Billboard, Parade.com. I also have a business right down to it where I do content creation. So manuscripts, bios. I also do some publicity work as well. But on Rocky's Reality, it's unfiltered, unapologetic culture, entertainment, and relationships. So pretty much I've interviewed anyone from celebrities to activists, everyday people who have interest in. So I'm also a wife and a mother. I have two children. I have a girl and a boy. My daughter's in college and my son is in middle school. So, but yeah, we can get more into it because like as TT said, we'll be here all night for all the other things that I do. But when people ask me what you do, I'm like a whole lot of shit, pretty much. So
I always say,
I'm just grateful that God Right. I'm just grateful that God gives me the opportunity every day to get up and live my dreams. So I'm grateful for that. So thank you, ladies.
Yes, yes. And last but not least, Melody Fresh.
Hey,
Please
everybody.
tell the listeners about your
So,
platform and all that you do.
can y'all hear me okay? Okay, good.
Mm.
Yes.
All right. Everybody went blank 2 seconds ago, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm Melody Fresh. You can listen to me every single day. And by every single day, I mean every single day on 105.9 Kiss FM, which is a station right here in Detroit. I co-own a clothing company. Well, not a company. I co-own a clothing store with my husband. We have our own clothing brands. I am the creator of Bit Bingo, which is just fun trap bingo. So I'm all about experiences. I've been doing event hosting, radio, all of the above, talking to entertainers since I was 17 years old. I am in my 30s, so I have been around the block a couple times, just a little bit, just one and a half times. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm baking one
I
baby and
love it. I
baking
love
more
it.
as well. So I'm very excited to be here, be in the presence of you ladies, because you all sound so amazing. I'm so happy to try to meet some of y'all, later and add y'all as friends on Facebook because I love to do that and see what are y'all talking about.
Yay.
Yes, 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 yes. I'm excited. You got some comments. I want to acknowledge our people that I can see. And for those of you that are listening on other platforms, because you can listen and watch on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, the other Facebook page I have. But if you want to make comments, you would have to actually go through your stream. You go to streamyard.com/Facebook, log into your account if you have a Facebook account. That's the only way I can actually see your actual comments. I have people over here. Shout out to everybody that's over there in Instagram. Now, I was cheating the system, right? Because StreamYard don't like, Instagram, like, no, we're not partnering with y'all. Well, TT partnered,
Right.
y'all. I connected with tonight. Oh, yeah, tonight we go.
Exactly.
So, but if you want to engage, if you guys want to see these amazing women, because you hear their voices, and a lot of you may be familiar with hearing their voices, but if you want to see them and engage, interact, please log into StreamYard and go. But you have some people in here. Let's see. Melanie Smiles, which is my sister from another mother. She said, "What a beautiful panel of talented and gifted women." I concur. I concur. And then Karen, Dr. Reynolds, she said, "Hello, beautiful podcast queens and beautiful radio hosts." I'm going to add that, Karen, because we have radio hosts on here as well. And then my sister also said, listen, I did go to college, but what's that first word? What is that?
It's
Dunamis.
dunamis.
Okay, Rocky, you're the writer. What does that mean?
I'm thinking that's referring to church dunamis. That's the only thing I know of. I don't know if dunamis
It means
means something
power.
else.
It means power.
Okay. Because all I
Come
know
on,
is Miss
Minister.
Outreach that was over there on Greenfield in 96.
That's our
Powerful
So I'm
women.
gonna add to my word bank. Thank you.
I know our dunamis. We are dunamis women. Thank you, sis. And thank you, Minister Nikki, for educating us. So
No
Karen,
problem.
I love it.
I've been
But-
called worse, so I'll take it.
you know what? I can't. I just simply- And then Kyra B, amazing. Uh, she said, "I love this." Kyra is she's just an amazing artist,
Amazing.
amazing therapist, mother, wife. Just yeah, we got everybody on here tonight. Crystal, which I'm looking forward to having Crystal come on. She'll be on at the end of the month, y'all. I'm gonna be having people in skincare and healthcare and hair care and stuff, entrepreneurs. So Crystal, I'm gonna snatch her up to join that panel. And then I have Addie. Addie's an amazing entrepreneur as well. She said, "All of this amazing personalities. I love it." Yes, yes, yes. She does a lot of amazing things in the community. She does hosting a lot of events. I've actually been her host for a long time. And yeah, and then we have AC's tea in the building. She said, "Hey, family. Ladies, let me tell y'all about her tea.
Okay, do that.
It's like crack. So let me tell you why. It's healthy. She's also going to be on my show at the end of this month, which is next week. Can you believe that? We already through May.
man.
Like, what? Yeah.
Flying. Time waits for no one.
No.
You look up and it's
None.
like it's gone. You know, it's gone. But her tea is healthy.
Oh, Keith on here too.
Huh? What was that?
I said Keith just popped on.
Oh, okay. Hey.
Okay, PT, come on,
Okay.
PT.
Okay. PT family in the building on tonight. So let me ask these a couple of questions to you guys individually. All right. So and because of what you do, it puts you in different areas that I can ask these questions. So for Princess being a program director, you're the owner of your own network. What was your biggest challenge in getting that started? Because I know it wasn't an easy task.
I would say the biggest challenge when I first started, because I first started back in like 2008, 2009, where like Wi-Fi and streaming radio was like not even heard of. Like people were like, "What are you talking about? Click on the link. No, that might be spam." Like that was the biggest part of trying to get people to understand my vision and my goal of what I was working towards. So now that I'm there, the biggest part is, like you said, the separation that people love to do between podcast, radio, and on air. Like it's all streaming. Like we are to a point where everything is streaming. Even if you are listening to your FM radio station, technically you're still streaming because it's syndicated. So we all are in one branch. So the biggest challenge is not separating a network because of what it's on and just respecting it. So as a program director, I'm always fighting for all of the shows, all of the networks to treat my station just like they would a station that's on the FM frequency or on TV. It doesn't matter if it's on a WWW or if it's on a car dial. It's still the same product, the same work, the same sweat, the same content. And that's the biggest challenge for me.
Wow. That's deep. Um and I can cross over because we like on a Brady Bunch here. Melody, with you, so let me ask you this. So y'all educate me and gather me if I need to be gathered. Okay, that's what I'm here for. So when you say hard dial, is that what Melody is doing? Is that considered hard dial?
Yes.
Okay.
But for me personally, I wouldn't consider us two different types, but certain people would. Certain people would put her on a higher pedestal because she's on 105.9 versus us who are, you have to click on the link. We still do the same work. We still put in the same blood, sweat, and tears to create content and get interviews and work hard for sponsorships. It doesn't matter how you click on and listen. It's the same amount of work.
Right.
It's like a burger and a taco. It's the same meat, but the season is different.
Girl, I'm greedy. Don't say that.
I'm hungry right now.
I like that analogy though.
I do too.
Now I'm sitting up here visualizing hamburger. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I haven't cooked dinner yet. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, Melody, from your perspective, what has been, there's so many amazing hosts, and I think for me, I was sad when WGLB did what they did, but that's a whole nother story. That's nothing. Yeah, another story. But when you look at the different, because there's so many different personalities now, and sometimes I don't recognize them. Like I'd be like, who? They'd be like, that's so and so. I'm like, who is that? Man, I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, they're on so and so. Just because you're on the station don't mean I know you, right?
Yeah, true.
No disrespect.
Yeah.
I salute every queen, king that's out there doing that. But for you, Melody, being on, as what Princess said, a hard dial, and there's a lot of different personalities. Have you found a challenge that you said, and you had to work around something?
Not so much. For me, honestly, it was an easy transition. So I did go to radio school, like most people. And it took me a long time to get to where I am. Like I graduated radio school in 2010, and you learn then, and if you don't realize prior, radio is a small market. There are a lot of opportunities sometimes. So a lot of people I know, they've moved to different cities, and they've, or they, can stream and do their shows from home, even though they're on air in a whole other state or, place. Well, for us, Detroit is not huge. Like if we were in Florida, you know what I'm saying, or like Texas, there's so many stations because the place is so big. So there's all of this. Detroit is only this big. So a lot of what we have
Right.
here in the city, everybody, we stick to what we know. And the way that you're like, listen, I don't know these people. Radio is changing. It is a very different shift right now. And I say all of that to say the challenge for me, I really haven't had any hard challenges because luckily they align with what I already am like, right? So even though I'm in my 30s, I am the queen of old school music. I can do all of the old school hustles. I relate to my audience. So that was cool for me. But somebody else who's my age, you're 32, you're on an old school R&B station. You don't know Michael Jackson's greatest hits. Like this not might be what you know. Like, but this might be the best opportunity there is. So you better do something or you better get off the pot. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it honestly, it hasn't been a hard transition because I already pretty much was established and I already was able to just blend and pivot. And whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're in radio, TV, whatever, if you can pivot well, you're more than likely going to be successful in whatever you do because you will look up and your job will be gone, not because you're not good at it, just because things are changing in media so much and they've changed. Radio is not what it was 10 years ago, let alone 20 years ago. So we're a lot more digital now. I'm sorry, it was Princess, right?
Yeah.
That has okay. So with Princess, she's already ahead of the curve because she's streaming already. There are a lot of older people who are like, stream what? How I get on that? I don't know. I'm just gonna go to the radio. They're not there yet. So, we have those loyal listeners who they're not getting online, they're not listening to podcasts like that. They don't understand the technology and they don't want to for some of them.
Yeah.
So we'll keep that loyal following as far as that. But for the most part, things are we're in a digital age. So you got to get with it essentially. So, you see those changes, but honestly, it hasn't been really hard, but knowing how to pivot is the reason why it hasn't been rock hard for me.
Thank you for that insight. You're right. Radio has changed. There was a time. Now, see, I'm older than you and Princess. Okay.
Everybody older than me, child. All the ducks in the room.
Yeah. We are. We are. We seasoned. We a little seasoned. But there was a time when the radio went off air. Y'all, Rocky, you remember that?
TV too.
See, oh
Yeah,
yeah, don't start with the Star Spangled Banner thing coming on and MASH and all that.
I
No,
remember
Right,
all
right.
that.
And y'all
okay.
gotta stop hating on MASH because my husband was like, I remember my husband used to be like, when MASH came on, I knew it was time for me to go to bed.
I know that's
It was
right. Shout
over.
out to you, like,
I love MASH. I used to watch it all the time.
girl, I went to bed on purpose when that came on. It was nothing like you
Not a
MASH
purpose.
came on. You be like, yeah, it's time to go to bed because I'm
It's
not.
late. It's
Yeah,
late
no.
for real.
Like, you know your bedtime. You ain't know you couldn't tell time, but you knew when MASH came on. We
It's
gotta go.
time to go.
We passed our bedtime. Right. Yes. So radio has definitely changed. Podcasting is like totally different. I remember hearing people talk about podcasting probably like 10 years ago, and I'm like, what is that?
Right.
Right. Um, Rocky, how long have you been in podcasting?
I'm glad you asked because after I introduced myself, I was trying to do my pitch so we could move along. I forgot to say that it'll be 6 years that I've been podcast with Rocky's Reality. So.
Okay. You're so funny. I can't take you. I can't take you. Nikki, Nikki, how long have you been podcasting?
It's just been since 2021 for me, so it's just been 2 years.
Okay. Okay. Sunshine, what about you?
It'll be 3 years in September.
Okay. For me, this will be going on 3 for me as well. You know what? I fell into it. Princess,
Can I ask a question? Okay, so
of course you
as
can.
a program director,
Mhm.
it really grinds my gears when people separate podcasts because there's not much different from podcasts and radio besides a song break or two. I mean, I've been doing radio since, like I said, 2008, and I'm only 29. I started when I was 15. And when you look at the average radio show, technically would you consider Steve Harvey's show a podcast? He's syndicating. He's not in the studio. He pre-records and then they air it. But everybody qualifies that as a radio show. So I think like the terminology of podcast versus radio just came from podcast. People felt that they were doing it more from their home, and a radio they felt like they had to be on a network or in a studio. But it's the same thing. Ricky Smiley, technically he pre-records and it airs.
Yep.
I mean,
me personally, I know, to me, the difference that I see between podcasters and radio is the timing. Everybody that podcasts, it's kind of like dancing to me. Radio is kind of like dancing when you're talking about regular radio, right? Because you need to know your music, and you need to know your time, you need to watch your time, because I need to cut out as soon as Mary J gets to doing the woo woo wahs or whatever the song that's coming on, right? Podcasters don't have to worry about that. So I see a lot of people that podcast that ask me for like help and like tips and stuff like that, and they very often don't have a good transition into radio because they don't get the timing. Because you're not controlling. You don't have to worry about music. You get to talk about your subject. You get to interview. You get to do X, Y, and Z. It's not about the music. Whereas to me, radio is still more music. It's still more based on the music and not the personality. Versus the podcast, it's all about you. And then if you want to throw a song in there too, cool. But if you don't, most people do not. But I do recognize that difference. And a program director told me that a long time ago. I'm like, should I start a podcast? She was like, girl, that don't mean nothing. But now in 2023, I see why she said that, because a lot of podcasters don't transition well on the other side because they don't get the timing.
I can see it from your point of view now.
I love this.
It's definitely, I see from like what Karen said, commented, podcasting is less regulated. That's a major difference. And that's part of like podcasting, because I can and curse. I don't have to worry about the FCC. Like you said, Melody, we switch it up with time. Like when you're in radio, and that's what we were taught at Specs, right? That you got to watch the clock. Remember, Jim Bell was telling us watch the clock.
Talk about it.
So, but I also see what Princess. I also see what Princess is saying as far as fundamentally there are some differences, but what we're still providing content and information to people. We're still educating and entertaining people. So I just think it's like this hierarchy that we get into sometimes, because I love radio as well and I love podcasts, and I just think it depends on the mood you're in. Do you want to? Because to be honest, I'm on Sirius XM now. Like I love Sirius XM because I get tired of the commercial on traditional, or what they would call terrestrial or hard dial radio. Yes, I know terrestrial. It's technical radio. But my thing is, it's just like the different TV shows that we watch too. You know, just like a reality show is going to be as structured, and then now some of them are scripted, but as additional drama that you have. But it's still a form of entertainment, right?
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
Good point.
And I definitely want to connect with all of you ladies after this. And I guess that's, for me, that's the biggest direction that I am changing with my brand and my network is entertainment is entertainment. So housing them all together and not allowing people to separate us because of this terminology of, oh, you're a podcaster, go only where the podcasters go. Like, no, I mean, even technically as people are streaming us on, YouTube, for me, I would qualify this as a TV show. What makes this different than any other show that's on Netflix that's a reality show that may be scripted and edited? So I guess for me, being like the younger generation and trying to change their direction and just kind of branch them all together, I'm looking to house them all and never ever shorten the stick just because of the box that someone wants to put you in, creating your own new box. And that's one thing that I love about our network. We don't have to worry about the FCC or any of those things either. So that's why we can do radio and podcast, because I'm my own boss. I'm not going to find myself, or I'm not going to find my people for, talking how they truly feel. But we also put ratings on each show as well.
Can I do an interjection real quick?
Absolutely.
So, Miss Fresh, can you pass whatever the heck you eating? Because I told y'all I was hungry.
I tell you,
Listen,
And
Gotta
she
feed that
eating
baby.
for two.
Gotta feed
That's
that
the
baby.
baby. Gotta feed the baby.
Right,
Listen.
right. Y'all already know. We got nephew like, I know you doing this interview, but
Golly.
Right.
What is that? A hot Cheeto? What is you eating?
I am eating Cheetos. Listen, I'm starving.
My God, today. See, that's when you know
Listen.
you didn't. You in my bag right now. You are in my bag.
Judge your mama. I'm hungry.
I'm not mad. Listen.
I'm not
my
mad.
fingers ain't red right now.
I'm just glad somebody else pregnant besides me. And do
okay.
it.
Okay.
Because I'm done with the babies.
I'm good too.
I
Made my
second that
contribution
motion.
to the world.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
So there's a question by Ty and Lay's take today. And I would like for each of you to answer this if you can.
I can't read. Wait a minute. Let me get my
Oh,
glasses.
I got you. What has been the biggest challenge you have had to overcome, and how did you work through that obstacle? We'll start with you, Rocky.
You know what? And I was about to be like, let me get my answer together so I can act like I got some sense. Baby. For me, being a host and producer has been one of my biggest challenges because I don't really have a team. And that's something that traditional radio does provide for you. You have a producer, you have a manager, these different teams that can help you. And with podcasting, you're pretty much getting it out of the mud. You're doing it yourself. So I'm the one who's emailing and calling people, ups. I'm vetting guests, doing my research. All plus, as the host, I'm having to prepare questions and show. There are times where I had musical guests and I have had music because I have tried to make it like a traditional show in a sense. So that's been the biggest challenge, just not losing my mind, trying to contact people, all the follow-ups. Overcome it is I've just paced myself like a TV show. If I need to take for a hiatus for a couple months, I'll do that.
Right.
And that's what I had to tell another podcaster. Like, you don't have to feel like you got to be on 24/7, 365. Like, if you need to take a couple months break to recoup, just like a TV show does, then do that. So that's how I've overcome that. Is I've taken a break at times, and then I tried to plan ahead. Like, I always try to schedule my guests at least a month or two ahead of time. Like, I'm already thinking about who's going to come in July and August. And so I start sending out those emails and making phone calls. And but for me, just not having a team. I mean, I'm blessed because my husband is a graphic designer, so he does my flyers and stuff. So that's one huge thing that has really helped me.
Shout out to the graphic designer.
Her husband a graphic designer too. I know you know working with the husbands, but I need it.
But it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You pay a different way, but it's cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
That's how she got that baby right now.
Biggest challenge being a team of one.
That payment plan right there. That's that payment plan right there.
I cannot. You light in the back like, see, you know what it is.
I love it.
Listen, I mean, it'll be times me and him will get into it, and I'm like, can you do my flyer though?
You still on that flyer?
Like,
listen, we try. We part of the brand, so that's for me. And hey, Tyler, by the way, that's been the biggest challenge for me, being the main person. And also, like, when you try to find team members, very hard because people will say, "Oh, I'm down. I love your show," and then when you start speaking to them about if they see the mission and the vision the way you do, if they're expand your vision, that becomes that's been a challenge for me, which I'm still working through.
All right, Princess. Same question. What has been the biggest challenge you've had to overcome, and how did you work through that obstacle?
I think I'm still working through obstacles. I think one of the biggest ones was, like she said, separating the difference between radio personality, program director, and owner, and trying to find a team and balancing it all, and realizing when shows, when everyone's like, hey, can I get this? I'm the station to be like, okay, it's coming right up for you. So being able to just balance all of them, especially with everything else that I'm trying to do outside of radio to get the network the exposure that it needs to be, just trying to balance that time. I mean, like she said, it's very hard creating a team and trusting people with your team and your vision. And I used to work hand in hand with Specs Howards, and a lot of their interns used to come in and intern, and that would take the pressure off. But Specs Howards is no longer. No one wants to intern anymore, so it's hard to
Not for
have
free.
those types of things, and everyone feels like, oh well, I've been doing this for this year and they don't have an experience, but they want to come in and get paid top dollar. So, it's just hard separating and balancing it all as the overall network to try to put us in better positions and get us in different places, but still be here and there at the same time with
Right.
only one person. So I'm still working through it. I'm definitely getting better at it. Ty and Lay is definitely one of the great radio personalities that I have on my network. And they are in the process of training to, take on a lot of different things, because I'm also about passing down the torch. I don't want to be one of those 60-year-old people who's just sitting on the board. I'm like, nope, I'm not giving up my mic. And it's like, no, I want to pass it down to
Let it go,
new and young talent who has that ambition, who has that time and that drive. So for me, that my obstacle is learning when to pass the torch to keep your goal and your vision alive.
Very well said. I like that. Nikki, same question to you, Queen.
For me, I'm still kind of new to this, but I want to stay true to it. So, I think for me, I'm still kind of getting my feet wet with it. I enjoy it. I love interviewing people. I love having conversations about real issues. I started when I first started my podcast or my radio show. I wanted to focus specifically on something that nobody else was talking about at the time, which was hymns and the importance of them and the backstories for them. So I wanted to do something different, and that kind of made me stand out for a little while, which was great. We did that for a couple of months. So for me, it's like my biggest issue is probably going to be finding a niche if I need to have a niche, and then if not that, then just being comfortable doing whatever I feel in the moment, however God is leading me to um to do it in the moment, and then making sure that I stay relevant, with whatever I decide to do, making sure that it's relevant and that people are still being impacted by it the way that I want them to be impacted.
Okay. Okay. Same question to you, Sunshine.
um, let me read this one more time.
It's what has been the biggest challenge you have had to overcome, and how did you work through that obstacle?
So, I don't know why my screen is doing that, but I'm gonna say, as Rocky said, working on your own. I've been doing this by myself, doing the flyers, reaching out, calling, emailing, all of that by myself, with a whole job, a whole husband, being help to my mom. It's a lot. Plus, you
Yeah.
still want to have a life. So
Yeah.
I found at 45, yes, I did say 45. At 45, I found another level of things that I can do that I didn't know that I was capable of doing, which is, acting and getting out here singing and just really finding me. As I'm helping others, I am finding myself, right?
Right.
And so I get the question all the time, are you getting paid to do what you do? And I'm like, no, not yet. I don't know how to get to the bag. I don't know nothing. I'm just following what God told me to do, right? So
Mhm.
eventually in this journey that I'm on, those doors will open.
Absolutely.
Being honest and transparent with myself to allow people to come on, tell their stories. Because I really believe in the village, right? I
Mhm.
can't do nothing without education from your experiences. This is where we are. I need all this wisdom that we have to what make me a better person. So whatever I have, I'm going to share. And in me sharing, that opens other doors for me, right?
Right.
So it might be the connection between TT and all of us to get us here. Well, I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You're literally one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. It's been proven over and over again. So don't think we just got here so happily, like, yeah, we're going to get on here and do this. No, it was divine that we all got here.
Yeah.
And even in our personalities and what we need from each other. Because mama over here, I need her hot Cheetos right now. Because I ain't going to keep on telling y'all I'm hungry.
Oh my
I'm
God.
just saying.
I can't. I can't. Yes, I agree. Divine order because scheduling, as I said, I've been reaching out. Y'all know it's been some weeks. Y'all know it's been some weeks. This ain't just happened overnight. And so I wanted to align. I already knew who I wanted. And then I'm only missing two other personalities. Well, actually three, because one is a tag team. But it was just like, okay. So then when I got the yeses from you guys, and I know I was driving y'all crazy, like, okay, I just want to check in. Just want to check in. I'm like, I know you're like, Titi, I'll take yes, going away. I'm like, okay. So Melody,
I don't know what she just said.
I know I had to say that like that because I don't want y'all to come for me. So yeah. So what has been the biggest challenge, Melody, you have had to overcome, and how did you work through that obstacle? I know.
So similar to the other ladies, it's just about finding the balance. I got married in 2020. I gave birth to my son in 2021. Mommy
Yes.
talking. And as time goes on, things change. Like I said, you got to pivot, you got to figure it out, you got to stay organized. So I really just had to, one, like she said earlier, take that break. Breaks are needed. And once you take that break and you regroup and you can see, okay, this is how, this is working. I'm staying organized this way. Once you figure out that groove and you find it, you're on fire. You can do whatever you want. I can figure out my life. I can do everything with a clear head. But just balancing everything, being somebody's mama, being somebody's wife, being a good family member, trying to be a good friend, making sure you're taking time for self-care, excelling in your career, finding, your niche and your entrepreneurial things and things like that. Sometimes I can have up to 7 events in only a few days. And the only reason I can do that is because I'm organized, I plan in advance, I communicate with people. You just find it. And once you find it, you good as go. Get out the cabinet. You good as gold. Like, you good. But finding it, sometimes it takes, some people more effort than others to say, okay, boom, we here. We on the coast. We on the slide, and we can just coast.
I agree. For me, my biggest challenge, because I'll jump in on that one. The obstacle I found that I had to overcome was, like Rocky said, scheduling. I've been doing it my own, all by myself. My husband, shout out to my husband, Swifty McVeigh. He's been my engineer. He's my sounding board. He get me together. I be like, and on them days where you feel like I just can't, and he like, you can do it. I know. And then
Baby,
right? Because you just feel like you got to do this, you got to do that.
every other week I'm bucket. No, and hubby gets me together. Listen, listen. Every other week. I'm sorry, TT. But
no, you're right. You be like, I quit.
I feel you.
Shout out to the
you.
husbands, because I promise you, every time I'll be like, you know what?
The helpmate.
But yeah, thank God. Shout out to the husbands.
Shout out to our husbands, because we all got a husband.
Amen.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think the other thing, people might not know this. I started out my podcast. It wasn't called TT from the D. It was called Married Couples Pour. A lot of people don't know.
I remember.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know I'm a marriage ministry leader. As crazy as I am, right? I know. So when I started the podcasting, and shout out to Courtney Benjamin, because he's the one that got me started with podcasting. And it was all on Anchor.fm. And I was just like, okay, I prayed on it, like, what I'm going to talk about, what should it be about? And I was so big, like, I love marriages. Like, I love marriages. I love we grow up, we learn together. There's, no marriage is perfect. It's work and growth and all those great things. So I just solely focused on that only. And then one day, somebody asked me, was like, I wish I could listen to your show, but I'm not married. So you always talking about married things. And I was like, oh, okay. And then another time I had someone that was divorced, was like, I really have learned a lot from listening to your show. Like I think about what I could have done and what might have worked. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I thought like, oh, it's right. Then I had somebody saying, you know, I would love to listen to your show, but it's just always about relationships. I'm not in a relationship. And I'm like, dang, I'm like, so God was like, you are for the people, right? You're for the people. So if you're for the people, you can't put yourself in this box where it's married couples only. What about the people that's not? Even what about my sinners, right? Because I'm a sinner too, right? Okay. And so, and so I was like, well, what would I, you know, like, what would I gotta rebrand, I gotta rename it. What am I gonna do? And then people, you know, y'all call me TT. And so one day somebody was like, oh, there go TT. I was like, I'm TT from the D. And I was like, from the D. I was like, okay.
There we go.
There we go. And so it was just like, now you reach a new name. And how do you make the transition from people that listened only to that? And then it started with the, as you said, the marketing and all this and looking and then I'm like, I'm zany, right? I got a big personality, short person, but I'm like, I love everybody and I love energy. I'm connected to positive vibes and energy. And I'm like, I want to talk about everything, right? Not just the stuff that's out there in social media. For instance, I want to talk to my fellow podcasters and radio people, my family, our for what we do. I want to talk to my fellow actors. I want to talk to my fellow writers, my fellow homegirls just kicking it. I want to break down a show on Tyler Perry. You know what I'm saying? Me and my crew get on here like, yo, what you think about Fatima? We're like, oh my God. So it's like, this is what we really talk about. So I'm not in a box. And so that was my hardest thing to get over, is realizing I didn't deserve to be in a box.
Right.
That was mine. Yeah. So let's see. Kyra B said, what makes what you do unique? And how do you stand out from the rest? I'm going to throw that question to you, Princess. What makes you stand out from the rest?
I would say just because of the direction that, like I said, I'm trying to go in with our network, connecting all of them together. It's something that's unheard of. People haven't seen it before. They don't quite understand how it worked, how it can work, but just bridging the gap between TV, radio, podcasts, web series, all of those things, bridging the gap and just making it entertainment. Because at the end of the day, that's what it all is. We're looking to be entertained. We're looking for something to watch, to hear, to resonate with. So for me, what makes it unique is trying to create a genre of just entertainment that people feel like they have to put like the extras to, and it's entertainment. So our slogan on Hot 93, 97, and 93, 97 network is where entertainment lives. And then I love the slogan, are you not entertained? Because that's the biggest question. Are you not entertained with the TV shows, the radio shows? I mean, the photo shoots, the model life. So for me, that's what I feel that sets us out from the rest. And most of the content that I put on the network or that I work with is real life content, you know, being moms. One of the shows that we had on the network was called No Hangovers, and it was an actual recovery group for addicts, alcoholics, PTSD, and all those types of things. So bringing actual real conversational pieces to radio. As much as we love to hear about the Kardashians and Kanye, but people are having real moments that they need to talk about and get answers from. So I feel that's what kind of sets us aside and makes me different from the rest.
All right, I'll pose that same question. Rocky, what makes you unique and what makes you stand out from the rest?
Well, my thing is about transparency and just real. As y'all see, I curse. I'm a Christian, but I'll curse too.
You are not alone.
Authentic
Right,
self,
okay.
listen, my authentic self. My background is a worker, so I've seen a lot of things that have affected our community, and I wanted to make sure with Rocky's reality that, of course, interviewing and doing the music thing is all great, but I also wanted to bring to our attention, to our community, different issues attack us, or that we have we lack the resources and the wherewithal. So And just also bring those conversations to the forefront that we don't talk about a lot. Infertility in Black women, legalization of marijuana, blended families, being single and social media. So real conversations. The reason why it's important. I've covered of topics. It's always great to have fun and talk about the stories, but I want to talk about the real issue as far as nonprofits, the importance of those nature of that nature, mental health. Mental health, bringing that, normalizing the conversation about just things of that nature that affect us, that a lot of times that these mainstream outlets are not going to give us those pertinent and resources that we need, and those resources. And like you said, TT, I'm a connector. I love connecting people. I love when people can meet. Like Melody and my girl Vanita were on the show the other week, and they were able to connect. So hopefully Vanita can now do a pop-up with Melody. I love when guests come on and they can connect and give each other that, as Nikki said, be that one link to what they might need. So that's what makes me unique, that I'm going to ask the questions that other people ask. I'm going to say stuff that other people probably want to say, but don't feel comfortable saying. And just also, I'm just someone who's just authentic who I am, and in the space that I am. I don't try. I'm competing with myself all the time. That's always I love collaborating with others. I love gleaning from others. But my thought is like, is never, how can I be better than her? No, my thought is, how can I do better than what I did? Every show that I'm rewatching it, I'm digesting it, overanalyzing, because I have a psychology degree. So I think that's what makes me unique. That as a social worker, I've learned how to build relationships, solve crises and issues, but also with entertainment, I can bring that into. So as KRS once said, I'm the perfect combination of edutainment.
Okay. And so
KRS One, look, Google him. I mean, y'all should know who he is.
We know who KRS is.
Okay. I do.
Younger people watching, Google them.
Nikki, what makes you unique and stand out from the rest?
Everything that I try to do on our show is going to point toward healing in some type of way. It's either going to be a personal healing, a relationship healing. It's going to be healing through laughter. It's going to be healing through music. It's going to be healing through retail therapy. I mean, it works. I don't know what else to tell you. It works. So I love having entrepreneurs on there. I've had, women on there who have, jewelry lines. We've talked about sex trafficking. One of my godmothers is an actual sex traffic survivor. So her story has been featured all over the country. And so like talking about that and talking about how, something like, Super Bowl Sunday is the biggest draw for sex trafficking. People don't know stuff like that. Just having those like Rocky was saying, just having those types of topics that people aren't really hearing on Steve Harvey. They're not hearing it on the Today Show, and they're not hearing it on the Talk or the View. Talking about mental health issues from a Black man's standpoint. Why Black men, don't normalize going to therapy. Things of that nature, and talking about the LGBTQ community and why they are getting such a bad rap in churches. I mean, what's going on with that relationship? What's going on with the millennials versus the Generation X or the Generation Y in churches? What's going on with pastors and leaders? Why they don't have this, that, or the other. I mean, just conversations like everyone's been saying that you don't regularly hear, and then trying to offer solutions most of all. So not just talking about the problem and being judgmental about the problem, but offering some level of solution, some coping mechanism, something that can lean itself to somebody being healed, or at least going on that journey of healing. people who are writing books about, their own story and so on and so forth. So I think what makes us different is at the end of the day, we're going to talk about some type of solution and how we can heal or at least laugh at ourselves so that we don't take life so seriously that we miss being present in the moment.
Awesome.
I'm posing that question to you, Melody.
Simply put, listen, I am one of one, and there are other people who like the stuff I like. They're interested in the things I'm interested in. So connecting with, once you find your target audience, you on that coast again. I don't follow what everybody else is doing. If everybody, so for example, I still host a lot of parties, but years ago when I was hosting a lot of parties, there wasn't a lot of girls, and then a lot of girls came on the scene. But they all wore long hair. They all wore stuff to show their booties off. Listen, my junk is in the front, not the back. So I wore a bob, which a bob became my signature hairstyle. Not because I didn't like long hair, I really don't, but I didn't look like everybody else. If everybody else is doing it, I don't want to do it. I want to do what everybody is not. So by not following the crowd, by only focusing on what I know, my target is, what I am staying true to myself in, I feel like I'll always win in that way as far as standing out, because I'm not following what they're doing. If they're doing it, let's not. Let's go that way. If everybody's going left, let's go to the right. Slide to the right.
My favorite slogan is that I created: wherever there's a trend, there's a trap. But people don't understand that.
That's
Exactly.
I'm all set.
That's
I'm
good.
I'm about to write that down.
I like that. I like that. Say that
Yep.
again, princess.
Wherever there's a trend, there's a trap.
Oh,
Yep.
that's good. I like that. All right, same question to you, Sunshine.
I'm looking for a pen.
I can't. I can't. I can't.
There's never a pen around when you need it.
When you try to write,
My
you
God.
gotta use the notes on your phone.
Hey, watch the replay.
I know, right? Right.
That part right there. So I love color, right?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite color is blue. Normally my hair is blue, but I said I'm gonna try some of this ginger color, right? So how God deals with me and my differences is I have 14 tattoos. My tongue used to be pierced. I had all of this different stuff. And it became a conversation with people like, oh, I wish I had the courage to do that. I wish I had confidence to wear your hair short. I'm like, baby, it's just hair. It will grow back. Do you and do it well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, you are going to be the help. Excuse the screen. I don't know why I keep doing it. You're going to become the help that you once needed. So you unpacking yourself in front of the world. You're looking at somebody who survived being suicidal, that used to be bisexual, that, I mean, you name it, I did it and enjoyed it while I was doing it. Praise the Lord. However, there is no judgment bone in my body. So if you want to be gay, guess what? Been there, done that. Come on, I got a hug for you. If you want survive from domestic violence and abuse and, being divorced and all this great stuff, honey, I done did it, done it, and wrote a book. Okay? So we all gonna hug kumbaya together. I might change your hair color. Look, you want, as we say, the detail shopping. You want to do all that? That's great. So we gonna talk about it. I don't care if you're a celebrity. I don't care if you Oprah herself. I'm not afraid of nobody. So we gonna talk about it. From celebrities to the next mom, the single dads. Change the narrative, because guess what? We all got platforms.
Right.
Everything that's in the media is not true. So I'm gonna prove it to you. So if I have more males on my show, so be it. Why would I do that? Well, the media is saying X, Y, and Z. Well, I know a whole bunch of people, males, black, that take care of their kids, that do whatever is necessary, even if they single fathers. So that's what makes me different. I am okay embracing my differences. Today I might be ginger. Tomorrow I might be fire engine red.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I do
And
have
I'm still
to.
hungry.
And still hungry. Yeah, I know. I know. So my last thing I would like to ask you guys, because I've kidnapped you about 10 minutes over. Um, one, please tell the listeners and
Hold
viewers
that thought. Just
how
one
they
moment.
can follow you on social media. We'll start with you, Rocky. Can you let the people know how they can stay connected to you on social media?
Okay. Well, I'm Rocky Harris on Facebook. Beware when you send that friend request. Don't send if you sensitive. Don't send me a friend request. Okay, just because that's the no
Keep
war.
clear.
That's the war zone. Okay, so I'm just kidding. But ROCKI Harris on Facebook. You can also Rocky's Reality, ROCKIS Reality on all platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Please subscribe. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
All right. All right. Same for you, Nikki.
You can find me on Facebook and on Instagram. On Facebook is I am Nikki Jones. That's Nikki Jones, and you can find me on Instagram at I am Nikki Jones 2022. I think it might be 2021. I don't know, one of them numbers. But it is I am Nikki Jones 2022 or 2021. And you can also find me on YouTube and on Facebook, WVTC Detroit. That's Winning Victory Through Christ, Detroit, and that's an internet radio station. But we have a Facebook page and a YouTube page, and the name of the show is Soulful Inspirations.
All right. Melody.
So I'm Melody Fresh on all platforms. There isn't another one. However, the Fresh is FRESHHH. You can follow the clothing brand, which is the Fresher brand, on all platforms. And even if you're not in Detroit and you want to listen to some great old school music and some new R&B, you can always tune in middays with me on 105.9 Kiss FM. If you have Apple Music and what's that, Google Play, if you have an Android, it comes right up as well.
All right. All right. Sunshine.
Hi, girl. Yes, ma'am.
How can
Hey, Melody, I was already friends with you. Oh, look at that. That's special.
I
Okay, so
let me know?
Hey, girl,
I know now you're gonna really have to talk to me now since
I got you.
we shared our red hot Cheetos. All right. Only thing you missing is a pickle, girl.
I
You messing
cannot.
up. You messing up. So anywho, so Facebook, I am Sunshine Camila, Kamela. On Instagram, I am Sunshine Camila, Kamilah. That's how you really spell my name. But for all those who always jack up my name, that's why it's Kamela. So y'all won't mess up the name. Hallelujah. On YouTube, it is the name of the show, Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine. No G, Keepin apostrophe. No G. All right. What else is it? Twitch and Twitter, I think, is the name of the show. But again, Facebook, you can inbox me. I will talk back to y'all. Okay. I will give my number out, but I don't want to have to beat nobody off with a stick.
I can't. Princess.
You can follow me on all social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Princess_on air. You can also follow my likes page, Facebook.com/Princess_on air. And y'all can come see me at Statham Nightlife in Mount Clemens, 77 South Main Street. Thursday through Saturday, 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. Bartending as the general manager.
Ooh, you know what? I wanted to come the other night, but we was on. Cody was out at a bar mitzvah. We had to be on post so we could pick him up.
I completely understand.
Well, Queens, I want to thank you guys. Thank you for your evening, giving it to me, giving it to the viewers, the listeners. I thank you for your individualness, your unity together. I think that this was a powerful, powerful platform this evening. I believe that the people enjoyed it. I know I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope that you will come back in the very near future. We'll take it up a notch. And I just want you guys to have a wonderful evening and know that what you do matters. You don't know who's listening to you or watching you and what you're adding to their lives on a daily basis. So keep doing what you do, how you do it. It's so important.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
Kudos to
and
all
thank
the
you, TT.
ladies. Thank
Yes.
you for having us.
Thank
All
you.
the ladies.
TT, I want to give you your flowers right quick for all you're doing
Yes,
and
I was
all
just
you've
about to
accomplished
say
and just
that.
the energy that you put out there. And I just really appreciate you. And I'm very excited about what's to come and looking forward to connecting with you ladies as well. Thank you to all the viewers and listeners tonight.
Amen.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Much love to y'all. Much love to y'all.
I truly enjoyed you guys, and after this, I will be eating. I might go to the store and actually buy my own Cheetos. Thank you very much, and I will.
When's the
be giving-
baby shower? We gotta send.
Yes,
send
when is the baby shower?
Hey,
I'm not having a shower. I'm gonna have a little diaper. Oh shoot, Mom, you. Oh no. Oh, so I'm gonna have a diaper party sometime in June.
okay.
I had a son. My son will be 2 in September, so I have so much stuff. I mean, when I say blessed, capital B, and you got to add the T on the end. I mean, I still have diapers from 2
Oh
years.
wow.
Wow.
Good luck.
I'm gonna
Good
use
luck.
that same energy for this next child. That way, I don't have to worry about that diapers and wipes. So, sometime in June, I'll be posting because my customers and my Facebook friends, they're always on my head.
Okay.
Well, praise the Lord, and we just, give blessings to you, in your safe delivery.
Yes.
And
Yes.
even
Absolutely.
this time, no stress, no nothing. That you will have everything that your heart's desire, everything that you want, even in your family. That even in this, you will feel love more than you ever have in your life. I am glad that God made this time for all of us to come together. And that I truly love every last one of y'all. I want to see you, every last one of y'all win. And we already winning. How about that? And
Amen.
TT, I love you. You already know how I feel about you. Nikki, you already know. Rocky and Princess, I would love to connect with you guys because we all are powerful, as the person said, Duna miss. There we go.
Yeah.
Dunamis women.
That was that DPS education there for the
I cannot.
We'll definitely
I
have to
love
do
y'all.
a part 2.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. I would love to connect.
And we must do that. We must do that, y'all. I think on my way out, on closing out this show, Everard Cassimy has a song called Amen. And I feel like I want to play that on our way out the show as we end it. I wish you all much blessings and love. Let's stay connected. Keep doing what we're doing. Until we see each other again, y'all be safe. All right?
Yes.
All right, y'all.
Thank you.
Strong J, strong J, strong J.
And I'm going to shut us down, y'all, with Amen from Everard Cassimy. Here we go.
They say you can't do both. You be up on TV, then singing them songs you wrote. Boy, you better pick one thing, 'cause we ain't trying to hear you sing. I ain't never hurt nobody, yeah. But time and time again, they drop me, yeah. If that makes me a bad person, well, maybe you're the one who's hurting. Why you gotta hurt me so good? I will not be misunderstood. I won't let you break me again, 'cause Sometimes they try to break you down. They see you loving life while theirs is upside down. Listen to me. Sometimes it works, but them's the times. I gotta put me first. I ain't never hurt nobody. Yeah. I am who I am. They can't take that away from me. Look to the one who made you who you are. You're a star, and you're gonna go far. Why you gotta hurt me so good? Hurt me so good. I will not be misunderstood. I won't let you break me again. 'Cause I'm stronger now. Let the church say amen. Hey, hey, amen. Hey, hey, amen. Hey, hey, amen. Stronger now. Let the church say amen. Why you gotta hurt me so good? Why you? I will not be misunderstood. No. Yeah. I won't let you break me. Break me again. 'Cause I'm stronger now. Let the church say amen. Why you gotta hurt me so good? Amen. I will not be misunderstood. I won't let you break me. Break me again. 'Cause I'm stronger now. Let the church say amen. Hey, amen. Hey, amen. I think that'll work.